Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. We've made it through Pegasus, we've made it through Holy Bull, and now we are on our way to the Fountain of Youth. The track is fast, the turf is firm, Tapeta's always fast, and we've got a great day of 9 races on the card for you today. Samantha Perry with you. Brian is taking a little R&R, and I will be with you, but we've got Ron back in action with his Rainbow Six. Brian's got some tickets for us as well. And then, of course, I've got late pick 5, early pick 4. We've got everybody all together, but just me with you today. And like I said, we've got a solid 9-race card for you today here. And that Rainbow Six is got a nice estimated pool of $225,000. It begins in race number 4. Thank you everybody who's been sending it in throughout the weekends because it's just been growing and growing. Of course, we had a little bit of rain showers cause some off the turf events on Sunday, but we are back in action today. Really solid turf feature, but let's get things going in the opener here. The early pick 5 kicks off here. Over $20,000 in that pool already. Like I said, the turf is firm, track is fast, Tapeta's always fast, and Brian's got that ticket. We'll go ahead and take a look at it here. It's a $12 play for him, just using 2 horses in this opener. Race number 2, he does have my top pick. That's a 2. What a world. I'm glad he put that horse in there. Race number 3. The 6, Don't Be So Grouchy, is my top pick. And then you see his 2, race 4 and 5. That's the double here. The 6, that is Sassy Melissa for Danny Herchak. And in race number 5, the 4, Vamos Viejo for Jose Angelo. A $12 play, just 53 minutes away from the opener here. It's 6 furlongs on the main track, and solid race to get things kicked off here. They are a maiden claimer 12-5 level. Not a lot of scratches or any changes on the card, just 2 scratches in the whole card, so people not have a lot to do today. But the 7, Personal Drama, is who I've got on top. And my play with this horse was we've kind of seen everything that the rest of this field has to offer, and this is the only first-time starter in the field. Has some really solid works coming into this race here. I was able to see one of them on XBTV, and that was in September, so a little bit a ways away from here, but it was working really well in September, and I think this horse is live in this spot here. Has Edwin Gonzalez aboard. I think that this horse has probably only gotten better since I saw that work in September. Of course, there were some hiccups because he did go to the bench for a little bit, but I think that's okay, and he looks pretty live coming into this spot here. Now, the number 4, Awesome First. Brian and I both tried this horse again last time, just on the jockey switch and getting to that 2 turns. Now they're going to try the dirt for the first time for this 4-year-old gelding, and the winner in his last race going 2 turns on the Tapeta was a very big maiden special weight dropper from the Todd Pletcher barn, and that horse went just gate to wire. This horse was kind of never going to really stand a chance against that horse in that level, but I like the fact that now he gets back to sprinting, and he's going to try the dirt for the first time. The works on the page, at least, look pretty solid, like this horse can handle the dirt quite well, so hoping that translates over to the actual race. Now, the 6, Back to Reality. Fausto Gutierrez sends this horse out, and we've got a stat on Fausto because I feel like this is a barn that's been very quiet, but this is off the claim and dirt sprints the last 5 years. Look at this, 3 for 10, 30%, a pretty solid ROI. This horse is going to be bet, already taking some money here with Irad Ortiz in the saddle. Of course, we're still pretty far away from the opener, but still, they're going to bet this horse pretty hard, and I think that I would just be a little hesitant to really hammer, but this is a big drop in class, so we'll see what we get in about 51 minutes. Now, race number 2, it kicks off that early pick 4. It's 1 mile on the grass. We'll take a look at my ticket that I've got here, and it's a tough sequence, a $24 play for me. I'm singling right off the rip here, and this is a bit of a bold single, but we'll get into it in just a second. And as you can see, races 3, 4, and 5, I don't have the strongest opinions. Race 3 for me has a lot of horses exiting the same race, and we'll show a replay. But I do have the 6 on top. Don't be so grouchy. Race 4, the 3 on top for me. Get the candy. And in race number 5, I do have the 6 on top. Dropkick Murphy. That is one of the races that we do have a scratch out of. So just 4 for me, and it is a 6-horse field. $24 to play. And we'll get into race number 2 here. Now, note, the rails are at 80 feet for this race today, and when the rails are out this far, speed is the play. That's the name of the game. Now, the 2, What a World. She is a daughter of World of Trouble, a new sire, but this horse ran one on the dirt, one on the grass, and I think I'm liking so far what I'm seeing from his offspring. Now, What a World, she's got speed. And although she's only been on the grass one time and it wasn't the strongest effort, and that was at Ellis, so, there are different courses here. But what I like about her is she has shown speed, especially in her last effort. That was what prompted the claim here. You've got Kenneth Ramsey, he's the sharp owner. He knows what he's doing when he's claiming these horses, and Safi Joseph as well. And, the attention is never when you claim a horse at the end of September to wait this long to start the horse. But I will say this, she's getting Lasix for the first time. This filly, although World of Trouble offspring so far, they're 0 for 4 on turf routes. They're 22% with turf sprints. And I'm not saying I'm treating this race as a turf sprint by any means, but when the rails are out this far and you've got the speed, this is a horse to play in this spot, and that is why I've just gone with this one right as a single on top. Bon Madi for me, another horse that's got a big chance. You've got Mike Maker training, and this is first off the claim from Safi. It was a solid 4th place effort last time out. That was a race where Skinny Cosmo, the winner of that race, kind of pulled herself up almost on the outside fence, then came back running, and Bon Madi was just kind of in the mix on the rail of it. But she also has some speed, so I think she's one to maybe pay a little bit attention to. In the 4-channel loop, it's Mike Trombetta. This filly gets Lasix for the first time. She doesn't have much speed, and that's what kind of worries me, and she doesn't have like a very quick turn of foot either, and she could be up against it. Now, we do scratch the 7, 3 dots, and a dash out of this spot here. Hope to see her back another time, but I do think that this is a field, and especially on the grass courses today, you want to look for some speed. Race number 3, it is allowance optional claimers going 1 mile and a 16th on the Tapeta track here. We've got 6 of them, and a lot of these guys are coming out of the same race. And I wanted to pull up the race replay of this out because Swiss Slang, Ike's Gamble are in the mix here. Now, this was a day, as you can see, we got some rain. We had a muddy track. Whenever we get rain, and it was kind of a chillier day on January 14th, the Tapeta usually plays pretty quick, and felt like Ike's Gamble really had the best of it here, especially on the rail. You see Swiss Slang on the outside, really working hard and got it done. And I feel like Ike's Gamble had a little bit of the upper hand here because whenever you're on the rail and you get this rain, or on the inside at least, he was about 2 path there, you're kind of on a little bit of a freeway there, and these two went at it. It's hard to separate these two. Now, this is the 1 and the 2 in this spot here today. Now, as far as the Tapeta today, we'll have to kind of see how it's playing. On Sunday, it was very, very, very fast. We got a blitz rainstorm come in while we were doing the show on Sunday morning, and it just really made everything lightning quick. 2 different track records were broken, one going 5 furlongs and one the 2 turns, 1 mile and a 16th on the Tapeta. So we'll watch it today. It has been on the chillier side. I presume that with these kind of cooler temperatures, the front is where you want to be, and the 2 Ike's Gamble just kind of has a little bit more of a play on that. But Don't Be So Grouchy is who I went with, because this is a horse that is drawn well here in this spot. Not a lot of speed, but you've got Irad Ortiz in the saddle, and that helps a lot. He's never been on this horse, and I think this is just a really good rider to have on a horse like this. Maybe get a different dynamic out of him in a race where, you know, we see what Swiss Sling can do. We see what Ike's Gamble can do, and maybe we can just maybe take a little bit of a wait-and-see approach with those 2 horses, where Don't Be So Grouchy is kind of a new face against those two. But the lack of speed kind of worries me here. But again, we'll see how that Tapeta is playing after the opener. Race 4, it does start the Rainbow 6. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have Ron Nicoletti's hopefully playbook play of that Rainbow 6 ticket. We'll be right back with you.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Samantha Perry with you on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon here at Gulfstream Park. Like I said earlier, we've gotten through Pegasus now. We've gotten through Holy Bull, and what a fun day that was. And now we are looking ahead to the Fountain of Youth. But this weekend, we've got a solid little stakes race. But today, the Rainbow 6, $225,000 in that estimated pool. Ron Nicoletti has got the Rainbow 6. We're so happy to have Ron back. And look at that playbook play of 43.20. He kind of saw races 4 and 5 very similarly to me. I'm glad that Brian's got some anchors because I agree with Ron. These were kind of tough races to really get a grip up. You see race number 7 there. He does have my best bet, and that is the 7 Absolute Grit. Race 8, there's his single, the 7 Hibernacle. This is an interesting one for trainer Wesley Ward. Tyler Gaffleone, a nice technical outside post. And in the finale, race number 9, he's got 4 of them. I thought this was a tough race as well. A lot of these exiting the same race, though. Tis a Tale he's got in the mix, as well as Swaggish. We'll show a replay of these guys here. Japard as well, who's going to look to speed pop the field. A 43.20 play and a $225,000 estimated pool. Race number 4, 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta track here. This is for fillies and mares 4 and up, claiming $16,000 level here. We've got a clean field of 7 that will go to post. The 3 on top for me, Get the Candy. Now this is for trainer Brittany Vandenberg. Going to get Irad Ortiz aboard. Now this is second off the claim for trainer Brittany Vandenberg, and I like the fact that they're bringing this horse back to the Tapeta. And I'm not to say that this horse didn't run fine on the turf. It was a tough race. Ivory Moon we're going to see on Friday, who's a perfect 2 for 2 on this Gulfstream Park turf course. So a tough race here, but she really did run well on the Tapeta. Now you're going to get Irad aboard. He's going to get some aggressiveness in this horse here because she's going to need to make a decisive decision to go to the lead because she's got that speed and she can use it to her advantage. Now the 6 Sassy Melissa, this is a horse that Brian had singled out here. She's 6 years old. She's 0 for 3 on this Tapeta track here, but with the Danny Hurtak barn, she ran very well first time in the barn for Danny Hurtak, and that was her first try in the barn, and it wasn't a bad effort. Now, she came back in a much stronger race and didn't do so well. This is her level here, this $16,000 level, and I get that you got to run these horses sometimes where the race comes up, and maybe she just needed a little bit more race experience here, and she got it last time. Get Jose Ortiz in the saddle. He's ridden this horse the last 2 starts, and I think that it's good. He's kind of got her figured out and maybe can time up a ride just right. But again, not a lot of speed, and that kind of worries me, especially with the way the Tapeta was playing last week, and it's only gotten a little bit cooler since then, those races. Now, the 4 Magic Moonstar, what do you get from her? She's beaten this group before, with her eyes closed, basically. She just aired out the field 2 starts back. Now, that was with different connections. Jose Garofalo claimed her, and then he kind of ran her a little bit over her head as well. But now she's back for this $16,000 level. They claimed her for the 12.5 level, so they're not at much of a loss here with her. This is this is just her spot, and she's got speed on her good day. I would watch out for her because she's one that's going to be a little tough, I think. Race 5. It's 5 furlongs on the grass course here. The rails are at 80 feet. I've got that late pick 5 ticket. We'll take a quick look at this. And this is a really good sequence, especially if you're going to try to beat the second place horse in the Breeders' Cup Turf here. Now, this race was a spread for me. Race number 6, I do have the 3 on top. Race number 7, that's my best bet, Absolute Grit here. Race 8, this is the aforementioned, this is a tough race here. And I'm completely tossing Valiant Force, the 3. I do have the 2 on top, King Julian. And in the finale, the number 2, Swaggish, is who I have on top, as well as Villegas Swing. A $36 play for me. And in race number 5, we do scratch the number 7, Bella Future. That was our last scratch on the card today. And the 6 is who I went with on top. That's Dropkick Murphy. Exiting a race with a couple of these, like Vamos Viejo, I just felt like Dropkick Murphy just ran. I know that he finished behind Vamos Viejo, but this is the first time in the barn with Laura Cesaris. She had a really nice winner that did set the track record on Sunday in the finale with Yes, I Am Free, the old pro there. Paco Lopez gets aboard here for the first time. I think this jock here will get a whole different dynamic brought out of this horse. This horse has got speed, good outside post position draw with the 7 out. This horse looks pretty tough here. Now, Vamos Viejo, of course, 2 starts back ran incredibly well. He probably thought he won that race because he shot through the hole just like a rocket and just was very, very narrowly defeated. Now, Irad Ortiz is back again. He rode him last time, and that was a race where it was just a little too tough, I think, for him. A little just over his head. Jose D'Angelo has got him in the barn now, and I feel like this horse is set up to run a good one. Now, the 3 horse 3-0 is interesting to me because this horse on the turf has faced way better in the past. You look at his New York races, and he was running against horses like Sosa Summer, Super Quest. These horses are stakes winners, and now he's here in a level for the $35,000 tag. My problem with this horse is I don't know if he's going to be where he's going to be early in the race. Now, you got Luis Saez in the saddle, which is a good thing because he brings out speed in these horses, but the rails are at 80 feet. You've got to be up front. You've got to be close. Otherwise, you can't make up that kind of ground with the rails at 80 feet. So just keep that in mind here. I would watch the tote board on this race. It's good that this kicks off the late pick 5 because you can just kind of look and see or check those double wheel pays if you're going to play the Rainbow 6. Race number 6, it's a mile and a 16th on the Tapeta track, a claiming $20,000 race. We've got a field of 6. Brian has got that late pick 4 ticket. We'll take a quick look at that. A $36 play here. You see the 6th and 7th race. They're kind of wide open. He does have my best bet in race number 7. Race 8, he does have Valiant Force, but he's also using Macville, the other Brian Lynch trainee. And in the finale, just 3 deep, he's got 1 Tis a Tale, Swaggish, the number 2 in the 4, Japard, a $36 play. And race 6 is a tricky one. The 3 is who I've got on top for Mike DiPaolo. And this is a horse to me that I think just needed the race. Now, the return to the races from Woodbine, it wasn't a bad effort by any means, but sometimes these horses just need a race to kind of get into the groove of things, and it was the grass last time that he was on. Now he's back on the Tapeta. He's got 3 wins over the surface, now not this surface, but the Woodbine one, and that can play out a little bit differently, but I just feel like this is a mare that just needed to get her feet under herself, and she's got some speed too. You look at her best races, and she was on the lead. Luis Saez stays aboard. I'm thinking that there's going to be some intent here. Now, the number 4, Latin Nikita, Kelly Breen sends this horse out, has never been on the Tapeta track here at Gulfstream Park, but the turf races are good. We'll see if that can translate over. I trust Kelly Breen with these types of moves. This horse is now second off the claim, and I think Kelly Breen, when she get a little bit more time in the barn, I think that kind of helps. Hey Paula, the 5 horse here, she's not a turf horse, and now she's back to the Tapeta, which she does best. She's got 7 wins over this surface. yeah, this is just not a Bahamian Squall is not a turf producing routing horse, and now she's back here. Now the 7 Wicked Mercury, they're gonna play here, and I wanted to show the replay of kind of why I'm playing against this horse, because this was going 6.5 here, and this mare just shot through on the far turn to take the lead of this race. She had such a quick turn of foot and ran on nicely. You see her winning the race. This is going 6.5, but I wanted to show after, she finishes, and then I wanted to show the gallop out here because she doesn't just keep on going, and that's what worries me. You see the other horses just really kind of swallow her up here, and that worries me as far as the distance we're going here today. You see her on the rail, and most of the field has passed her at that point. I'm not saying that not to use her. I mean, use her. Tread lightly here. Now, Marty Drexler, he's sharp. I do see, this horse has 1-2 turns on the turf course here in the past, but I'm not so sure that this is her distance, but just tread a little lightly with her. Race number 7, it's a late pick 3, 6 furlongs on the main track here. I do have my best bet in this spot here. It's the 7, Absolute Grit. Now, he's been on the bench for a little bit. I have not seen him since the late May of last year. I wanted to show a work from this guy because he has been working exceptionally for the Rowan Crichton barn. There you see him on February 1st. He got a work from the gate here. Just kind of almost lollygagging, and then whenever he gets set down on the rail to really, hey, look, this is what we're doing, we're working, he works so nicely over this dirt course here, and this is a great comeback spot for him because he's faced much stronger in the past, and you look at him, he really starts quickening here. This is just when he starts getting going in his work, and since he is coming off such a long layoff, I love the fact that Rowan Crichton worked him from the gate, because the gate works almost get another level of fitness out of him, and I think that's certainly what happened there. Now, the number 5, Avant Glory, this horse has faced way stronger in the past as well, gets back to the dirt. The 2 turf races, the sire Kozan is only 8% with turf, so this horse definitely, it's a better play that he's on the dirt course here today. But what do you get? This is a big drop in class, but you look at who he's been facing, horses like Big and Classy, and that's a very, very classy horse, and he doesn't get that here today. I do really like Absolute Grit here. I think he's going to come back in a big way to the races. Race 8. This is our feature, and it is a really, really good one. 5 furlongs on the turf course here. We've got Valiant Force, the 3 horse. I don't have him in my top 4. Maybe I'm just being a little hard-headed, but let's show the replay of him. This horse was supposed to run in a stakes race on the dirt, and he was scratched due to a gate issue. This is him in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. He came from way out of it on some hellacious fractions. What he's doing right here today, he will not be able to do here with the rails at 80 feet. And today is the day I think you can play against him. Now, to me, he's not even a grass horse. I can't wait to see this horse on the dirt. And that's where they first had him entered before he was scratched. It was right as they were about to break from the gate. He was scratched, and that was on the dirt. Now, I do know the Connections wanted to get a race under, and I'm not saying that he doesn't run well on grass. I mean, he does, but just imagine that kind of new level to be unlocked from him if he would get on the dirt. Now, this is a good starting point for him, but I think he's vulnerable here today, and he will be at a very short price. Now, the 2, King Julian, he's got speed. Now, this is 1 of 2 for Brian Lynch in here, and I believe I used both of them on my ticket. I felt that King Julian, the 2 horse, just ran a lot better than his stablemate Macville that day. I liked the way he quickened down the lane. He leveled out nicely. He galloped out huge. He's on the inside here. Now, him and Esperon, they're the speed of this race, and I do know that Macville is quick too, but I feel like these 2 are going to be the ones to really set things up in the early get of this race. Now, the number 7, Hibernacle, you saw that was the horse that Ronnie had singled on his pick 6. What do you get from her here? The blinkers go off. We haven't seen her since April. She won first time out for Wesley Ward in a huge way, and that's his game at Keeneland. He just gets them ready and pointed. They break like quarter horses from the gate, and they don't stop. She has been working well. I saw one work of her from her, and it was with Twilight Gleaming, and that was late last year. I believe the December 31st work, and it was a good one. But again, it's a tough post position. She can break and go. We'll see how quick she is, because I'm telling you, Esperon is not going to let them get. She's going to have a tough time, especially from this post, trying to really get with Esperon. The speed is the play in this race. You could go down with Valiant Force. He's the class of the field, and he might just be way too good, but I would tread very, very lightly. Maybe today is a day where you can bet against him, and we'll go from here. And also, watch him in the gate as well, because he was his own worst enemy here at Gulfstream last time. It's a very good race, incredible race. It'll be a good betting one as well, but also just one to watch. Don't blink, and you might miss these speedsters. Now, the finale here, claiming $8,000 level. Non-winners of 3, lifetime, 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta track. It is a field of 8. It's a tough race. We've got a few exiting the same race, and we'll pull up the replay of Gone Nuts and Swaggish here. Warlord Cruise On. Now, this is the race on December 15th. So for Gone Nuts, it was 2 races back, and thank you guys so much. And Swaggish ran a huge race to me this day. He was just battling so tough. You see him there on the outside. Courageous Copper was just too good that day. Warlord Cruise On, he just kind of runs his race every time, just kind of sort of out the back. But I wanted to just show how game Swaggish was here. He didn't want to let Courageous Copper out of his sights. Sometimes when horses are defeated like that, you just don't see him come back, and they throw in the towel. But this guy wanted to win. That was 2 races back when he was claimed. Then he tried a $25,000 level on the 5 furlong just flat race, and he just did just that, kind of came up a little bit flat. But now he's back for this $8,000 level, and hey, there's no Courageous Copper in this spot. The 7 Villegas Swing. This is a horse that he has faced Warlord Cruise On and Alan Diggs in his last race on January 1st, and it was a good one. This horse has got some speed. Now, Japard does as well, and that's the 4, and I think both of these are horses that you probably should use. Again, like I said earlier in the week, the speed was really good on the Tapeta, and maybe not even the speed, but if you were on top, at the top of the lane in front, there was not really any catching. It was hard to make up a lot of ground, and these 2 horses have some speed to get them there from the get-go. It's a very wide open race here, but I do think the 2 Swaggish is a horse that's got a little bit more upside than those others I just mentioned. It's a really, really competitive 9-race card today on this Wednesday afternoon. And like I said, we really are just about almost the halfway point of this championship meet. And we'll take a look at the standings, because it's been really exciting just kind of seeing these lead changes. And then, of course, with the jockeys, Irad Ortiz has kind of really just drawn away here. But Paco Lopez isn't going to give it away too easy. But Irad has just been on some extremely live horses. He's riding incredible, and look at that podium as well. Good to see Edgar Zayas up there with the piece. Just some big separation between all of these riders. It's so competitive. All of these guys ride their hearts out every time they're on the track, and exciting to see Paco here as well. He's really, you just can't say enough. He upset the Holy Bull field. So that's the jockey standings. As far as the trainer standings, it's a good one as well. Look at Safi Joseph just drawing away. He's got pure numbers. He enters his horses in right spots, and it's showing. Todd Pletcher making a mark. And look at Mark Casse as well. The podium here is a tough one. Brian Lynch, he didn't have a lot of bullets this week, and he's still on the standings here, not far behind Mark Casse, and that's impressive. I think Brian Lynch is set up to have a big weekend as well, and of course Jose D'Angelo, he's always one that fires his best shot. As we get in to this championship meet on Saturdays, I want to remind everybody that the breakfast at Gulfstream is in full swing from 7:30 to 9:30. You can have breakfast out here, watch the horses train. You can go on a little tram tour of the backstretch. It's fun to just kind of see what goes into these equine athletes in the morning, something that they do 365 days out of the year. You get a little bit of a behind the scenes look at what goes on here at Gulfstream Park. As far as my best bet today, it is Absolute Grit for me, 3-1 in race number 7. I think he'll be competitive on the comeback here for trainer Rohan Crichton, who had a very good day on Sunday with a couple wins on the card. And then as far as my long shot goes, I feel like there are a couple ways to swing in this card today, but King Julian for me is who I'm swinging against the favorite of Valiant Force. We'll see if we can get him beat in a race where I feel like he looks a little bit vulnerable. It's a great 9-race card. We're happy to have you aboard out here with us on this Wednesday afternoon of racing. We'll send it upstairs to Pete Aiello. He will give you the 2 scratches in the track conditions on the card. Best of luck today. Happy to have you aboard.